So I just got out of the theater watching Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die, and safely put, this is the best in the franchise. And regular viewers of my channel will recall I said Bad Boys for Life felt like a streaming film, and we have to question that. What is a streaming film? After you've answered that question, regardless of what your answer is, if you have not watched this film at time of its theatrical release, go out right now and do it. It's a fun action film to just start the summer off. And how do you elevate this tipsy-turvy of an action movie franchise? You look at what the competition has done, and I wouldn't say go and copy them, but you do it in a way that it makes you stand out. And my one critique with the Bad Boys film, at least the first two films, in terms of action sequences, will admit the third one was a bit light on the action department, but it was that they were too damn repetitive. And my goodness, am I pleased to say that on this movie, every action sequence was actually a spectacle to look at. Compared to, I'm going to compare this to Bad Boys 2 a lot, but yeah, compared to that, we had like helicopter scenes, like a scene happening inside a helicopter. It was really cool. We had one scene in the elevator that was just there for like a minute, really fun. There was like scenes where like the camera would circle around. I don't know how to explain it, but like they were, before the movie came out, they were like this behind the scenes footage with, you see Will Smith holding this rig, and he looked goofy because certain movies that have this first person view thing, they always look weird. I had that problem with Challengers not too long ago, but also the way the movie always zipped through, like in its cuts, and it's one take, and I don't know how to, it's a lot to digest, but it was also cool, and he just does it in a tasteful way. I don't know if they did it digitally or they used actual cameras, but it looked so good. And there were also these drone shots before an action scene that will happen. Something like, it was like the Bad Boys 2 movie where like you see that scene with the Haitians, but I don't know, in this movie it had more depth in that regard. Even without action sequence, there was moments in the start that we also have that circling, panning camera movement. And if a lot of people hate it, I completely get it, because like it happens a lot, and sometimes it actually happens like unnecessarily. They just do it maybe just because it looks cool. And me personally, I thought it looked cool. I digged it and I loved it. And I think it created this evolving nature of, especially for the action sequences, as well as keeping that same electric formula we love from the Bay films. And I guess the last film had them too. I don't know, I can't remember too much of that movie. There was also this bit with like Reggie, bit of a spoiler, but speaking of Reggie, the characters we got, new and some were old, but that Will and Martin chemistry, what held those first two movies on their back. And compared to the original two, it just didn't feel as fluid, as natural. I won't say it didn't feel as natural. It still felt organic, but it just didn't feel as exciting as you got in that original, those first two movies. But they definitely had their moments here. And I would say it was actually better than Bad Boys for Life from 4 years ago. And we also got a bunch of returning guys, majorly from the last film from 4 years ago. But Charles Melton didn't return. A bit of a shame not to see him here, but did not matter too much. We still got Alexander Ludwig and we got Gabriella. But I feel like this movie lost a bit of its steam in some specific aspects, especially with the personal relationship, like the dynamic between Will and his son. Just wish they showed more between the two of them. I feel like Martin was always in the way between them, and he always felt like he was this third wheel character that never allowed them to have that one-to-one interaction. It was always more of this, like, they would be close to it, then Martin would just add something for like comedic relief, and he never gave us this. It felt like it was incomplete, like the story between them was incomplete, and it was definitely a part of this film that I feel was truly missing, as well as like some segments that had another returning cast member, Joe, as Captain Conrad. I feel like the scenes, because of these scenes that we see of him, those moments in the movie were underused, as well as also a part with Will that we see Will having these breakdown moments consistently throughout the film. All of that just felt like they didn't do enough with those things that they left in the movie, and it all just felt loose. But besides that, see, if you're a fan of the previous films or you just love some body cop action movies, this is definitely a film that you will enjoy. Did the movie also feel a bit overstretched? Maybe a teeny bit, but I had fun every step of the way, and it was a good action movie to start the summer off with. Thank you for watching this video. Like it if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.